Good afternoon. My name is Ruben Silva. I'm a postdoc researcher at the University of Porto, and I'm here to present this work about nonlinear numerical simulation tools for the in-service assessment of a case study bridge, a railway bridge. The presentation will follow these topics, so I'll start with a brief introduction about the motivation and the objective of the work. Then I will present the methodology adopted, the presentation of the case study, and some results, and finally the conclusions. Regarding the motivation for this work, there is a high number of masonry arch bridges currently in service in European rail and road networks. So the vast majority of these bridges are very old, so over 100 years old, so with signs of material degradation. There are different strategies for the numerical modeling of these bridges that allow to evaluate the structural response with realistic material and structural composition and loading conditions. But it's quite challenging since masonry is heterogeneous and orthotropic material. So simplifying strategy can be adequate and efficient, but needs to be given more relevance to the material calibration. So in terms of the objective of this work is to present a set of numerical simulation tools resorting to the FEM continuous homogeneous models, so that are ideally used for practical engineers, so that are suitable to conduct in-service assessment of bridges, particularly nonlinear dynamic analysis. And in this presentation, it will be applied to a case study. So, in terms of different strategies for the numerical assessment of this type of bridges, we can use simplified models like the rigid blocks or the 1D beam elements. So, although they are very quick and easy to use, they have some limitations in terms of in-service assessment. So when we look for the detailed models, more detailed models that are more complex, we can use the finite element models where the masonry is used as an equivalent material, or a discrete model that could use finite element model or discrete elements. So these, of course, increase complexity. So in this work, the strategy is to use these finite element continuum models that are ideally used for assessing masonry bridges, and use them to conduct linear and nonlinear dynamic analysis in order to assess with railway loads. In terms of using this strategy to represent the damage observed in the bridges, here I present these two alternative strategies that can be used also combined. The first one is using this continuous model with a Drucker-Praga model to represent material nonlinear behavior. Also could be combined with a discrete representation of the crack. So if we can model a longitudinal cracking, for example, in the arch, we can use contact models that are available in these, usually in these softwares, to have discrete damage into this global model. So this will be applied to a case study application, and calibrated with in situ and laboratory tests in order to to conduct static and dynamic analysis. So the first approach using a Drucker-Prager model that are available in finite element softwares. In this case, we use ANSYS software. So these type of models are very known. So in this case, we opt to choose the Drucker-Prager model for compression, and also use a cutoff in tensile stresses in order to limit even more these tensile stresses. That is that is very exhibited in this type of structure. So adding also more, we have these hardening and softening models. These softening models to have this transition to the tensile stresses, and this for the compressive one. So this model is calibrated with experimental tests. After this experimental data, we perform a simulation of the flat check tests on a pier. So we have a calibration of this flat check test with this nonlinear model. In the second approach, with the discrete cracks, we use this equivalent straight geometry. Is not the real geometry of the crack into the stones, but we calibrate this straight geometry in order to represent an opening crack with already opening crack in the bridge. So we use this Coulomb friction model in order to represent this elastoplastic behavior in shear. Also, in normal direction, we calibrate these parameters in order to represent also the effect of the sliding of the crack in the normal direction, and all this is calibrated based on these shear tests on stone-to-stone samples. The case study is Durães Railway Bridge. It is a railway bridge located in the northern part of Portugal, in Minho railway line. Is a bridge constructed in 1078. So it has almost 150 years old. It has 16 arches, and the arches are all with the same span, semi-circular, with 9 meters. In terms of state of conservation of the bridge, the bridge is well conserved without any relevant damage. Although in some arches there are some opening cracks, longitudinal cracks that are visible, and we intend to include also these in the model. So the numerical model using this finite element approach is constituted by the different elements of the bridge. This linear model is refined in a local model regarding the arch A15. So we introduce these contacts in terms to simulate these longitudinal cracks. So in terms of calibration, it was performed based on 3 ambient vibration tests. So in terms of the first mode, we have the first transversal mold, the first longitudinal and the first vertical, with a good accuracy. So, in terms of the validation of the model, also is based on static load tests. So first we conduct static analysis in order to confirm the static values obtained from the static load with very characteristic freight train that is this Tacargo freight train. Composed with a locomotive and 14 SGNS wagons. So, in terms of the vertical displacements, a good correlation is obtained between static analysis and the static values. Also, the movement of the crack we find a very good correlation between the experimental and numerical, and also with the use of the flat checks, we assess the stresses on the pier on P14, and also a good correlation is obtained. So, moving forward, the dynamic tests, also with the same type of terrain, experimental dynamic tests were performed on the bridge. With different piezoelectric accelerometers installed on the deck of the bridge, and dynamic analysis were conducted including train-bridge interaction. So we modeled the wagon, and we perform analysis with interaction between vehicle and bridge. So for a passage at 60 kilometers per hour, we see that a very good correlation is obtained between accelerations, spectrum amplitudes, and some of these peaks are related with the train signature, so are due to the train, this train passage. So in terms of nonlinear behavior, we can see that there are some incursions in terms of nonlinear. Mainly in the sections of the arch where those cracks are appearing. So also we can compare between linear and nonlinear analysis. So for this in-surface loading, the difference between conducting linear and this nonlinear are quite small. If you are looking to arch without this discretization in terms of nonlinearities, but if we analyze arch A15, we see that a bigger difference we could found between nonlinear and linear. So we perform also simulations regarding the assessment of this type of bridge. In terms of vertical displacements, we can see that the dynamic impact on this bridge is quite low. So we don't have any resonant speed in terms of vertical acceleration and also in terms of displacements. For the vehicle, we see that after 90 kilometers we have some increase, so it could be a problem. And also in terms of the monitoring of this longitudinal cracking, we see that the increase of speed has an impact on the increase of this crack opening, but the impact is very low. So also we simulate a strengthening of the arch, so using tie rods in two different solutions, and also we conduct this dynamic analysis to see how are the impact of this strengthening solution in terms of closing these longitudinal cracks, and we can see that mainly the solution A, that is perform these tie rods inserted through the arch, achieve better results, and also we can have an estimation of the forces in each tie rod. So in conclusion, these continuous finite element models could have different complexities, starting from linear to nonlinear with different, with a global modeling or a more local modeling. These proposed models are validated through a strategy based on material characterization and also with numerical simulation. These models are very computationally efficient, of course, using static or dynamic moving loads. We use the